December, it seems Clem Haskins takes his team on a trip to California. This year, the trip comes early, and it takes the Gophers to Fresno to take on Jerry Tarkanian and the Bulldogs. And welcome to Selland Arena in Fresno. Dick Bramer and Jim Dutcher giving you some late Gopher basketball on a Friday night. The Gophers are the only Big Ten team without a loss yet in non-conference play, but there were some anxious moments the other night against Oregon. Thanks to Kevin Clark, who stepped up, and the senior provided a Gopher come-from-behind win against Oregon.
Yeah, he had a huge second half, scored 31 in a game. He had some drives to the basket, but the key thing is he hit 5 consecutive three-pointers, ended up with 31 points, Dick.
And while the senior Kevin Clark had a big game, so did the freshman Joel Przybilla, if not offensively, defensively.
He discouraged Oregon inside, had 7 blocks, followed up some missed shots. Joel Przybilla had just an outstanding basketball game.
So the Gophers got key contributions from a senior and a freshman for their 4th win of the season. Here in Fresno, it's been kind of the same old story. The Bulldogs are off to a slower than expected start this year. Nevertheless, they're a very dangerous team. They may have the best guard tandem in the WAC.
Yeah, they've got 2 veteran guards. Chris Herren is their captain. He's very good at penetrating. He can hit the three-point shot. Scored 29 against Duke in the Alaska shootout.
And, of course, new to the program, not new to college basketball, from Virginia, Courtney Alexander's a very dangerous shooter on the floor as well.
Yeah, he was a 2-year starter at Virginia. He's averaging over 22 points a game. They have a great guard combination.
These two teams met in December last year in Williams Arena, and then, of course, in the semifinal game of the NIT, Minnesota won. Both of those games, we'll see what happens here tonight when we come back to Selland Arena in just a moment.
Those must have been some cookies you left, Santa.
I didn't leave them cookies. I left them cheese.
Behold the power of cheese.
Our partners we can trust. That's right.
There's a lot of information on the internet.
Hey, the asteroid homepage.
Oh, I have 40,000 Northwest Airlines World Perks free travel miles.
Some of it.
You want to play some cyber croquet?
Is just a lot more useful.
Northwest flies to more Asian cities than any U.S. airline.
Like NWA.com, Northwest Airlines' award-winning website. Look up flights, find deals with special Cyber Saver fares, even buy tickets online.
Ah, have you seen the Squirrel Camp website?
NWA.com. We'll take you there.
He's got a nut.
Want more excitement in your workday? Improve the view from your cube with Pro Football Mania on Channel 4000 on MSCSports.com. Get the best Vikings and Gophers coverage and win great prizes from Gourmet Express and Sun Country Airlines. Only on MSCSports.com.
Minnesota facing the Bulldogs for the 3rd time in about a year. The 2 meetings, of course, last year. One coming in December at Williams Arena, the other in the NIT semifinal game. And Minnesota will line up this way. Joel Przybilla was playing his senior year at Monticello a year ago. Kevin Nathaniel got some playing time. Kevin Clark, of course, a valuable junior, had 2 big games against the Bulldogs. Quincy Lewis and Miles Tarver round out the starting lineup tonight. And Clem Haskins hoping that his team will fare well on the road. They have 4 wins on the season. Those 4 games, of course, coming at Williams Arena. For Fresno State, Chris Herren and Courtney Alexander are the two key scorers for them. Melvin Ely, the only center on the team. They do not have much depth in the post. Terrence Roberson and Larry Abney round out the starters. Those are the Jeep starting lineups. We'll come back with the opening tap in a moment.
Oh, what? Oh. Oh. Ferguson!
If you're going to quit your job,
Bye-bye. Bozo?
quit your job. If you're going to get a chicken sandwich, get a chicken sandwich. Hardee's new Bacon Swiss Crispy Chicken. Our crunchiest, juiciest chicken breast sandwich ever. With Swiss bacon and a taste that comes through in the crunch. If you're going to go all out.
In some remote mountain areas, you'll come across sandstone, limestone, or perhaps a major milestone. Introducing the all-new, totally redesigned Jeep Grand Cherokee. With more power, more safety, and more on- and off-road capability than ever before, it's a new milestone in sport utilities. Now, lease the all-new Grand Cherokee Laredo for just $359 a month at your Jeep dealer.
Shells. The legend continues, one bottle at a time.
I love my job.
Another sellout here at Selland Arena. Jerry Tarkanian in his 4th year here at Fresno State, and they've sold out every home game since he arrived. It'll be Ely against Przybilla, tap controlled by Minnesota's Przybilla.
Harkler have a sellout the house in Las Vegas, and he's done it here in Fresno.
There he is, the Shark, who will sometime this year pick up career win number 700. He's a Fresno native. Went to school here.
Kevin Nathaniel starts out on Chris Herren with the defensive matchup and forces a turnover.
And as you said this morning, size against size. That's the matchup you expected. 6'5" against 6'5".
The guard matchup, Dick, at both ends is going to be key. Herren also is guarding Nathaniel, so they're matched up against each other.
2 Minnesota turnovers and 2 Fresno points.
That was a very athletic play by Herren. The pass was behind him. He had to reach behind him, locate the ball and the basket, and he did it well.
Minnesota will keep it nearly its 3rd turnover. Kevin Clark, a key guy for Minnesota, 51 points in the 2 games against Fresno State, 30 in the NIT semifinal game.
Courtney Alexander is matched up with Kevin Clark. He's a little bit bigger than Kevin. Courtney's 6'5", and again, a turnover by Minnesota.
They haven't taken a shot yet. 3 turnovers in the first minute.
That first road game, Dick, it takes you 5 minutes to get the feel of not being at Williams Arena. 2 exhibition games at home, 4 regular season games at home. This is the first time in the maroon uniforms.
Picked up in the corner by Ely. Got a jump hook he likes to use in the lane. Przybilla turns him away. Roberson drives, 10-footer, rolls off, rebounded. Very short and out of bounds it will go to Minnesota. Indecision on the part of the officials, but Minnesota gets the call.
The under official was screened off. There were 3 or 4 players between he and the ball, so he had to defer to the outside official who gave the ball to Minnesota.
Minnesota's looking for its first shot.
They'd like to get Quincy Lewis off. He's the veteran on the club. He's the player that can get him started.
Oh, tough shot, but he dropped it to tie the game.
Yeah, going against the grain. Right-hander going left, but dead center for Quincy.
Chris Herren was a shooting guard, has been moved to the point this year. Ely turns. turns and fires hard off the glass. Przybilla lost the rebound. Alexander follows in and out. And Nathaniel clears the rebound for Minnesota. Clark with a three. Tipped by Tarver. Rebounded by Ely. Herren drives, and there's a foul before the shot. First foul of the game will go against Minnesota's Kevin Nathaniel.
Very aggressive move by Chris Herren. He's got three-point range, so you got to guard him on perimeter, and if you get up too tight, he has the ability to drive around you.
All right, here we go, man. Set.
Two apiece. Herren's first shot, a three is good.
He's got a three-point and scored on the end of the layup off the fast break. Good start for the senior guard.
He's got all 5 Fresno State points. His first three-point try is a good one. Nathaniel closed off at the baseline. Lewis to tie it up. Rebounded by Tarver. Nathaniel fakes the three and takes the two. Nice baseline cut for Kevin Nathaniel.
Strong move by Kevin. Recognized that the defense wasn't on him and drove it down and scored.
Lewis guarding Roberson.
Little passing game here for the Bulldogs. Pass and screen away.
Ely trying to get rid of Przybilla. Nice defensive job by Joel Przybilla. Ely misses again. Clark left open in the lane, finds Przybilla, and he is blocked, and a foul is called. A foul called on Abney, who contested Przybilla's slam.
Nice decision by Kevin Clark. He saw an opening, took a drive to the hoop. He just sees there's nobody between he and the basket. The defense adjusts over, so he slides it over to Joel Przybilla for the dunk. It's contested, but he'll go for the line for two.
That ties the game. What are the Minnesota Dodge challenges tonight?
Minnesota's got a deeper team, a bigger team. They can wear down this Bulldog team, and they got to contain the two guards, Alexander and Herren. They're both capable scorers.
1 of 2 for Przybilla to tie the game. Alexander's long three is long. Nathaniel got the rebound knocked away. Here's Lewis up ahead to Clark. And a follow-up by Lewis, no good. Now here come the Bulldogs.
Little transition basketball. Great pass, but Alexander couldn't hold it. Ends up being a turnover.
4 minutes into the game, each team with just 5 points.
Both teams looking to run. Minnesota's not afraid to look for some transition, even though they're on the road.
Bounce pass past Tarver, picked up alertly by Clark. Clark drives around Alexander. Ely with the block under the basket. And we've got our first timeout in the first half. Slow start for both teams, tied at 5.
Hello, welcome to Dodge Durango 101. Today I'll be covering the 5.2 and 5.9 liter Magnum V8 vis-a-vis Durango's superiority in the class structure of domestic compact sport utility vehicles. You're not listening. You're just staring at the Durango, aren't you? Aren't you? Why do I even bother? I don't know, I'm just standing up here like a big doofus.
Now you can get a touch of the tropics. Right here in Minnesota. Treasure Island Resort and Casino. You're just minutes away from hours of fun.
Treasure Island Resort and Casino.
At Abra Auto Body and Glass, our frame straightening equipment returns vehicles to manufacturer's tolerances. We also straighten out your insurance paperwork. Our paint finishes are baked to perfection at 140 degrees, which also creates very cool customers. Abra, auto body and glass. Absolutely the best auto body experience you can have.
Minnesota 5, Fresno State 5. Fresno State at 4-3. Always tough to beat them here in their home arena. What are their keys, their challenges tonight?
Coach Tarkanian is concerned with their lack of rebounding. They got beat by 53-30 on the boards by Duke. And then they've got to hit some threes. They're only shooting 26% from three-point land, even though they've got potentially some good three-point shooters.
In the other games, including the exhibition games that we've seen, and of course they were all at home, we've seen Clem Haskins after the first timeout use his bench, go to his bench extensively early. Here, after this timeout, the same 5 players are out there for Minnesota.
Fresno comes out in the 2-3 zone out of the timeout. I think on the road, Dick, he wants the players that are out there to get settled in a little bit.
Clark open for a 3. And he puts Minnesota in front for the first time.
He was the player Clark was worried about before the game. I talked to him just before the game. He said, boy, Kevin Clark gives us fits.
21 at Williams Arena in December, and then 30 in the NIT semifinal game. Holcomb drives the middle, tried to find Ely, and off his hands out of bounds to Minnesota. Now Minnesota goes to its bench. Kyle Sandin coming in for Joel Przybilla. And for a team concerned about its rebounding, as the Bulldogs are, you look at the lineup. Przybilla substituted at 7-1 by a 6'11 player, and you can understand why Jerry Tarkanian is concerned about his rebounding here tonight.
That's one of the real strengths of Minnesota's depth. They can come off the bench with size.
Hold called on Randy Holcomb. Holcomb playing in his first year here, a Proposition 48 student a year ago.
He's going to get more floor time. He had 30 points against Sacramento State in their last ball game. He went 14 for 16 from the floor, so Coach Tarkanian will give him more floor time here tonight.
Sandin feeds Tarver, who turns, and it comes off. Roberson rebound.
Good look for Miles. It just didn't go.
Alexander pops. Comes off. And Lewis with the steal and the save on the baseline. Clark spins into the lane. Sandin for 3. Off the glass.
Well, where do you see your guard set up a 7-footer for a 3-pointer off transition? But we've seen it time and again with Kyle Sandin.
Chris Herren with his second 3. In the game at Williams Arena last December, Herren was playing his first game. It missed some time because of some problems, and he really did not play very well against the Gophers the first time. Played a better game against the Gophers in the NIT. Nice pass to Alexander, who scores inside.
Guard to guard. Chris Herren drew double team on penetration. Courtney Alexander recognized it, slid to the basket, and got a basket easy.
1-point lead, pass inside. Lewis can't catch it with one hand, comes away with it, and is fouled. Quincy wants free throws, but he won't get them. It will be, however, the 3rd foul on the Bulldogs, and the foul called on Courtney Alexander.
Mitch Onsted's going to get his first time. You can see the pass inside from Miles Tarver. Lob pass to Quincy. He's just too tall for him. The ball goes to the court, and then trying to wrestle it free, Quincy gets grabbed by the arm. Not in the act of shooting. It'll be possession Minnesota.
With Herren out, the Gophers will go big. Przybilla back in the game. Sandin remains in the game.
Fresno State zoned underneath, and they stayed in the zone.
Sandin short with the jumper. Rebounded by Holcomb. Now knocked out of bounds by Quincy Lewis, and the Bulldogs will get it back.
They were very lucky. The player he was passing to had his back to the basketball. but fortunately for the Bulldogs, it was deflected out by Minnesota, who also comes back in the 2-3 zone. Seeing a lot more zone this year, Dick, than we did a year ago. All the teams are playing it as their alternate defense.
With Herren out, Shamario Rychart takes over at the point. 3-point try by Roberson comes off. Holcomb, though, rebounds it. Shoots over Przybilla very long. There's a whistle and a foul in the lane. An instance again where Przybilla didn't get the block, but he did change the shot.
Yeah, the shot was long. A lot of battle underneath, and Fresno State gets a possession under their own basket.
Fouls on Quincy Lewis. Roberson comes out for the Bulldogs. Minnesota leading by just a point. Rychart for 3. Przybilla rebound.
Fresh off the bench, his first possession, he tries the long shot and misses.
Great pass from Onstad to Sandin.
The impressive thing was the running out of Kyle Sandin. He beat all the players down the court.
Alexander hits from the baseline. 4 points for Courtney Alexander. Clark finds Przybilla. Triple team. Feeds it back to Onstad for 3. Rebound to the floor, picked up by Rychart. And a 3 for Demetrius Porter. And the Bulldogs lead by 2.
Again, a transition 3. Defense didn't get back in time to locate the 3-point shooter.
Onstad in a mess of trouble. He finds Przybilla. Sandin double team. Finally, the ball squirts free. This is Rychart. Blocked by Sandin, and there's a foul.
The pressure defense of Fresno State doubling up the basketball is causing some problems for Minnesota.
First foul on Sandin, 3rd Minnesota foul. And Randy Holcomb will go to the line.
This was a transition basket. The trailer was Holcomb. Does not score, gets pushed on the drive, and gets 2 free throw attempts.
Holcomb from Chicago came here along with Ely. And a missed free throw. Neither team will win this game from the free throw line. At least if they do, it would be an aberration. Both may lose it. The Gophers shooting just 63% from the line. The Bulldogs 61%.
That'll get you in close basketball games. Potentially, Minnesota's a much better free throw shooting team than that, and I think that number will go up as the season goes on.
Minnesota had a 6-point lead. Now it's the Bulldogs by 3.
What's your idea of the perfect minivan? Is it the most luxurious? One with a leather-trimmed and preferred suede interior, heated front seats, and dual-zone temperature control? Or is it America's lowest-priced minivan that still includes features like easy-out roller seats and air conditioning? There's only one place to choose from the complete selection of award-winning minivans. Your Chrysler and Plymouth dealer. Now get $1,000 cash allowance or 1.9% APR on Chrysler and Plymouth minivans.
Ever since it first appeared on the winter scene, the Bridgestone Blizzak Winter Rider has been acclaimed as setting a new standard for snow and ice tires. The Blizzak Winter Rider has outstanding acceleration, cornering, and stopping. And now there's the Blizzak Ice Gripper with Unity, a premium ice tire made to stop on glare ice. Both from Bridgestone, the next revolution in tires.
Your nearest Bridgestone Blizzak retailer, call 1-800-725-9950.
Those must have been some cookies you left, Santa.
I didn't leave them cookies. I left them cheese.
Behold the power of the cheese.
8.5 minutes into the game, each team has had a lead. Maybe Minnesota's the prettiest basket coming on our Abra assist of the game from Mitch Onstad.
This is a fast break situation. Mitch spots Kyle Sandin ahead of the pack, gives him a nice lob pass. Impressive job of running the court by both Onstad and Sandin.
face some full court pressure. Jason Stanford in the game for the first time out of the timeout. Daniel Onstad, Przybilla, and Tarver are the other four.
Fresno State's really picked up the pressure on the perimeter.
Porter, basket counts, and a foul on Onstad. Porter off the bench with 5.
In some cases, they would have called a charge, but Onstad backed up right under the net. And when you're that far back under the net, they're not going to give you that charge. So it's a basket and a free throw attempt.
First foul on Onstad, 4th Minnesota foul.
For the first time this year, the perimeter defensive pressure is bothering Minnesota's guards.
And a 13-2 run here for the Bulldogs has given them their largest lead.
And most of it's come off the defense. They've just forced some turnovers.
They really seem to be pressuring the wing a lot. The ball has gone over to particularly that right wing and never come back.
They're cutting off the passing lanes. Once they get somebody double teamed, everybody steps between your man and the ball. They make it tough to pass.
That's 3 is good. Mitch Onstad with his first bucket. 3 threes for the Gophers, 3 for the Bulldogs.
Mitch came off a down screen on the weak side and hit the three-pointer.
Herren with a longer 3. Przybilla rebound. Herren just 2 for 14 against the Gophers at Williams Arena last December. Onstad, just a 2-pointer. It's short. Tarver rebound. Put back is good.
Strong rebound by Miles Tarver. Took it right back up and scored.
Homecoming of sorts for Miles, who's from Oakland, a couple hours north and west of here. Alexander, high off the glass, no good. Abney misses. Przybilla in the lane may have affected both of those shots. Tarver.
May have got away with the travel.
Nathaniel as the Bulldogs switch and try to pinch him in the corner. That leaves Stanford open. Rebounded by Herren, stripped away by Stanford to Onstad.
Good alert play by Jason Stanford. Just got a hand in and knocked it loose.
Stanford, undaunted, tries again and misses a 3. Porter takes it in. Blocked by Przybilla. It goes in anyway.
It was almost a replay of the previous basket where he scored and got the foul on Mitch. That time Onstad got out of the way and he had the layup going on transition.
8 off the bench for Demetrius Porter.
Fresno State just wants to play good defense, knock the ball loose, and run it down the other way on a quick transition.
Ely rebounds the miss by Onstad. Alexander, Przybilla streak by. The shot high off the glass came off. Minnesota with the basketball down by 3. Minnesota's last 3 shots have come from Stanford, and Onstad. Now a turnover as Tarver can't handle the pass.
2-on-1 situation.
And a foul called on Tarver. Ely is hurt.
He got the ball wedged against the rim. A 2-on-1 situation. Here comes the pass to Ely. Goes up to try to dunk it. Doesn't get it above the rim.
The foul is on Kevin Nathaniel.
Nice pass across. Nathaniel tries to go around. Actually grabs him by the waist to keep him from falling to the floor. Tried to support Ely from hitting the deck.
And instead it's a flagrant foul. 2 free throws and possession of the ball.
Melvin Ely to the line. Shooting 2.
Foul is on Nathaniel.
They called the intentional. It actually looked like he was trying to support him and keep him from hurting himself.
Randy Holcomb, Terrence Robertson, and Shamario Richard for Courtney Alexander.
Shamario Richard back in the game for the Bulldogs. Onstad and Stanford come out. Lewis and Antoine Broxy back in.
One of our keys was Minnesota has better depth than the Fresno State Bulldogs, and they're using it here early in this half.
Hold on, ball out.
2 missed free throws by Ely. I don't be able to remember the pronunciation of his last name. His brother played at Wisconsin a few years ago. Lewis. And a foul.
Illegal screen away from the ball, trying to set a curl move coming off the weak side screen. Instead, made it an illegal pick.
Ely committing the foul, the 4th Bulldog foul. 8.5 minutes to play in this first half. And a traveling call, another Minnesota turnover. They really have had problems dealing with the Bulldog pressure in the half court.
Yeah, they'll disguise their defense. Sometimes it's straight man-to-man, and then other times they'll leave and double up on the ball. So you got to make good decisions.
Rychart.
Richard's given them some good minutes here in this basketball game.
Holcomb got rid of Tarver, blocked by Broxy.
Antoine Broxy had 5 blocks against his team a year ago at Williams Arena. That time he just left his man, went over and spiked it. You see Antoine just leaves his man, comes over and gets the block.
Herren decides he wants to take Clark. The shot comes off. Out of bounds to Minnesota.
Timeout on the floor.
7:59 left in the half. Each team has had leads. The Bulldogs now have a 3-pointer.
Shopping during the holidays can be really expensive. Buy something for Dad? Something for Sis? Well, when are you going to do something for yourself? Well, during the Chevy Make Your Money Count year-end event. Your Chevrolet dealer's got so many Chevy Tahoes and Chevy Suburbans in stock. Now's the time to get yours. You'll want to check out the lease deals, too. So do something for yourself this year at your Chevy dealer's Make Your Money Count year-end event. It's the season for savings at your Chevrolet dealer. Don't miss it.
Menards has the best selection of Christmas trees and decorations. Fresh cut real trees are all #1 quality. A 4 to 7 foot Scotch pine is just $8.88. Or choose from 4 styles of artificial trees for just $49.99 each. And show off your artificial tree with a rotating stand, just $69.95. Menards has hundreds of holiday decorating ideas like this 30-inch fiber optic tree, just $19.99. Visit the Enchanted Forest only at Menards.
Warm season's greetings to you all from Menards.
Welcome to Perkins. I'm Jenny, your server.
I could go for some turkey.
I used to go with a turkey, but that's another story. Anyway, we've got a turkey tortilla wrap, a turkey Philly sandwich, a nice open-faced sandwich, a Country Club Benedict, and our ever-popular turkey and dressing. It's all made with Butterball turkey, and there's plenty of pumpkin pie.
You used to go with a turkey?
Yes, but he didn't come with all the trimmings.
I know the type.
Like I say, there's always something new cooking at Perkins.
The Bulldogs lead the Gophers 21-18 with about 8 minutes to go in the first half. Time now for our Tires Plus trivia question. Who's the coach with the most 20-win seasons in his career? Well, he could be the guy to our left, could it?
Have to be someone who's been around a long time. I know Dean Smith's had a lot of them, and Tark has had a lot of them. When you get near 700 wins, there's got to be a number of 20-win seasons.
A few 30-win seasons in there.
Right.
Minnesota's going through a bit of a scoring drought right now. Broxy gets it to Lewis.
Good strong man-to-man defense by Fresno State.
Clark over Holcomb. The Bulldogs switched on the screen, and Clark, undaunted with the taller player coming over to guard him, just went right up and shot right over him.
Kevin doesn't need a lot of room to get that shot off.
Ely has it spin off. Tarver rebounds. Lewis misses. Holcomb rebounds. Rychart drives. 15-footer might have been blocked by Lewis. It goes out of bounds to Minnesota.
Courtney Alexander.
Antoine Broxy getting extended time here in the middle of this first half.
Minnesota coach is going to try to keep fresh players on the court. They know they've got a much deeper bench than Fresno State.
3-point ball game. Carver in a very high post. Onstad off the screen, off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Abney, and a reach-in foul on Antoine Brunson.
The crowd called that. The officials were just going to let them play on because it didn't affect the play, but the crowd was letting them know that there was contact.
Przybilla in the ball game for Broxy. Broxy picking up his first and the team's 6th foul.
Fresno State would like to get Courtney Alexander involved in the game. Hasn't done much at the offensive end.
Roberson with the 3. Quincy Lewis comes up short, rebounded by Rychart.
Even though he plays the power forward, Roberson does have good 3-point range.
Przybilla with a big block on Alexander. Up ahead, Lewis alone to score. A great pass from Onstad.
Great catch by Quincy Lewis. He really had to stretch up to get it. That's 2 baskets where Mitch Onstad has just recognized the teammate down court and got him the basketball.
Again, Herren tries to shoot over Przybilla, and he shot over the basket as well. Przybilla may only have a couple of blocks by the time this game is over. Clark will go to the line for 3 free throws. He's fouled outside the arc.
Yeah, Rychart got there late, fouled Kevin Clark on the long jump shot, and Kevin will get 3 free throw attempts.
Terrence Simmons will check into the ball game. Clark will get 3 free throws with a chance to put Minnesota in front.
Our location at the game, we're watching the game through the back of Coach Haskins
and Terrence Simmons. Number 2 is good. 6 for Clark. Onstad out, Simmons in. Porter in for Chris Herren. Herren didn't have a field goal in his last game against Sacramento State. Got 8 early points for the Bulldogs. And we're tied at 24.
Little pressure of their own by Minnesota. Token man-to-man pressure. Now give it up and drop back into their half court.
Alexander knifes his way into the lane. A bump on the way in. Foul on Kevin Clark, his first. Free throws coming up, or at least 1.
His first 17.
For Courtney Alexander.
This is a big break for Fresno State. Alexander starts to stumble, trips over the foot, gets a chance to go to the free throw line.
Melvin Ely.
Ely in the ball game for the Bulldogs, replacing Rychart. And Courtney Alexander, a couple years at Virginia. Sit out last year after transferring. And he'll get the bonus. 5 for Courtney Alexander. Rychart says he's one of the best players in terms of physical tools that he's ever coached. And when you have nearly 700 wins, that says something.
Yeah, he started 2 years at Virginia, averaged over 14 points a game during those 2 years, and got mentioned on the all-tournament team both of his years at Virginia.
2-point lead for the Bulldogs. Oh, whistle and a foul on Alexander, I believe. Yep. Courtney Alexander called for his second and the 6th Fresno State foul.
Coming off a baseline screen, and Courtney Alexander just reached out and grabbed his man.
All alone, Kevin Clark buries a 3. They forgot about the one man they should remember from last year.
Kevin Clark and Quincy Lewis, you absolutely cannot give them a good look at the basket.
3 putting Minnesota in front. Roberson comes up short, but he is fouled.
Minnesota foul number 42, Miles Tarver.
Miles Tarver picking up his first. So even though Minnesota's committed 8 fouls. They only have one player with 2. That's Kevin Nathaniel, and we've not seen him in the last several minutes of play because of that.
Terrence Simmons getting some floor time. Mitch Onstead has had a very good first half. He's teed some of their fast breaks, played solid defense, but now Terrence Simmons is getting some floor time.
And it's Roberson on the line. He too a Prop 48 casualty a year ago. That's 2 free throws, 5 first half points for Roberson. And the Bulldogs have a 1-point lead. Simmons to Carver. Przybilla tries to save it and can't. He was running to the lane. The pass was behind him, and another Minnesota turnover.
22nd timeout.
22nd timeout taken. 9 Minnesota turnovers, 6 for the Bulldogs.
Minnesota's half-court defense has been very good. It's when defensively Fresno State can force a turnover, get a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-2 situation. They've either scored or been fouled on the break.
Gophers head home after the game tonight, so the players can get ready for finals next week, and then they come out of finals, and there has been a time change because of this next week being finals week. The game originally scheduled for 2 o'clock has been changed to a 7 o'clock start. So for those of you who have tickets, or for those of you who've made a point to schedule that on your television viewing for next weekend, it's been moved to a night game instead of an afternoon game.
You know, Milton Barnes brings the Eastern Michigan Eagles into Williams Arena for the 2nd year in a row. 1-2-2 zone now. Chris Herren is in Alexander are their 2 spot-up shooters.
Herren drives and then feeds Alexander. Blocked by Przybilla out of bounds. No goaltending call. Larry Abney wanted the basket. The official said no, and Przybilla continues to be a force in the paint.
Excellent timing by Joel Przybilla. He waited till just the right moment and swatted it away.
Nick Sindel in the game for Minnesota. He did not play in Minnesota's last game against Oregon. Tipped up. They'll give Abney the basket. His first of the game.
That's one of the problems with the zone. You don't get good pickoff responsibilities, and you do give up some second shots.
Simmons feeds Clark, who's open again. Tipped by Lewis, up and in. Quincy Lewis with 6.
Tip up at both ends. Abney for the Bulldogs and Quincy Lewis for the Gophers.
A long 3 for Alexander. Oh, he's got a great spring to his jump shot. Great elevation on his jump shot.
Yeah, his form's perfect. He hasn't been shooting for a good percentage, but he carried that one.
Quincy Lewis scores another tough shot, and he dropped it.
You can't believe how tough that is, going that direction, squaring your shoulders and getting the shot up. Quincy does it as well as anyone.
It's a 2-point game with 3:05 left in the first half.
Dodge Intrepid's styling speaks for itself. As for what's underneath, car and driver had a few words of their own. Lease a well-equipped Intrepid for as low as $269 a month.
In some remote mountain areas, you'll come across sandstone, limestone, or perhaps a major milestone. Introducing the all-new, totally redesigned Jeep Grand Cherokee. With more power, more safety, and more on- and off-road capability than ever before, it's a new milestone in sport utilities. Now, lease the all-new Grand Cherokee Laredo for just $359 a month at your Jeep dealer.
Bounce pass, Gugliotta, and defensively. Sauter downfield.
Tackles from the dome.
Has his 3,000 pitch.
MSC, your ultimate sports connection.
Fresno State has led most of the way in this first half. We're glad you're with us for a Friday night special on MSC. Dick Kramer and Jim Dutcher, without being stumped by this. I'll go Dean Smith. That's the easy answer.
Or Tark.
Okay. 30 seasons, and Jerry Tarkanian is second with 26. 33 years. He's never had a losing season at the collegiate level. Didn't fare too well as an NBA coach.
No, Red McCombs hired Tark to coach the San Antonio Spurs, and it just wasn't a good mix. And Tark didn't finish out the year, and Red made a change. You hear that, Denny? Red made a change in mid-year.
Denny's job is secure for a while. Alexander with a bunny hop in the lane, and there's a foul on Kevin Clark. That is his second foul.
Well, I would say his job's secure for a long time. Red signed Denny to a long-term contract.
Less than 3 minutes to play.
Courtney Alexander.
Courtney Alexander will go to the line.
That happens, Dick. Some college coaches just aren't geared for pro ball. It's a different game. It's a different relationship with your team. And Tark was one of those coaches, just didn't adjust. Lou Holtz was another. You know, tried pro and football, and it just didn't work for Lou. He's a college coach.
And a lot of coaches recognize that, and for that reason, they have stayed at the college level.
Bobby Knight is one of them. He's had all kind of opportunities to go pro.
Lute Olson, another.
Right.
A couple of free throws for Alexander, and it's a 4-point Bulldog lead.
Out of the timeout, Fresno State really keys up their defense, double teaming. Seems like they get a shot of energy during the timeout, and they really come out aggressive defensively.
Lewis, tough shot. This one comes off. Sinville tips it off the glass, and Roberson steals it away.
Nick got bumped on the rebound, but it wasn't enough contact to draw the foul.
Footer by Alexander, in and out, rebounded by Sinville. Well, we see a lot more art on shots in the lane than we've seen in years past. I wonder why that is.
They watched the film of the Oregon game and saw those blocks.
Simmons picked up his dribble and to call a 20-second timeout. Minnesota having a tough time getting into its offense with Kevin Nathaniel on the bench. Now he's on the bench with 2 fouls. There's, of course, the risk of him getting a third first-half foul if he re-enters the game, but it just seemed like things were clicking better offensively with him on the floor.
Yeah, Kevin is strong with the ball. He's so strong upper body that you can't bump him off the ball. Some of the other guards aren't quite physically as strong, and Fresno State recognizes that.
Coming up at halftime here at Selland Arena. We'll have an update on the Big Ten Wire. Live interview with men's athletic director Mark Dienhart, and first half highlights as well. Minnesota will get the basketball down by 4.
Because of the defense Fresno State plays, it's not an easy game for your first road game because they do get all over the perimeter shooters.
Quincy Lewis hits a 3, his first 3 of the game. He's got 11 points. Kevin Clark has 10. And it's a 1-point game. Porter slashes into the lane and scoops it in. He's the guy that's really burned the Gophers. He's got 10 points off the bench.
He got it up quick before Joe Przybilla had a chance to block the shot. Double team again, reverse to Quincy, same shot.
2-pointer this time. Przybilla and Sinville crash the boards, but it goes out of bounds to the Bulldogs.
Even though it didn't go, Quincy Lewis was spotted up at a favorite spot for him. The shot just didn't go down.
1:20 left in the half. Started out sluggishly for both teams, with Minnesota actually playing, in terms of the score, one of its better first halves of the year.
Dribble drive by the Bulldogs. They like to drive, draw coverage, and then pitch it back out.
Simmons pushing Herren way out near midcourt.
Chris will try to drive him when he's guarded that close.
Feeds the corner. Ely turned away. Got Przybilla up in the air, and the shot clock expires.
Great defensive sequence. They tried everything to try to create an open shot, but the Gophers were there on every pass.
How many times have we seen, in particular, Herren drive the middle and pass the ball off, almost as if he's afraid to put it up?
Yeah, he's looking for the spot-up three-point shooter.
Simmons finds a wide-open Nick Sinville. Nice pass from Simmons.
Good reverse of the ball. Terrence Simmons threaded the needle with the pass.
1-point game. Bulldogs can take the last shot. Last year, Minnesota got into the 90s in each of their games with Fresno State. They scored into the 90s only in 2 other games all year long. Even though this game got off to a slow start, we may be headed there again.
They got 110 their last game against Sacramento State.
Przybilla with the block. Simmons will have a little time. Heaves it up over everything. As first halves go, a good one for Minnesota. Not down by double digits. In fact, down only a point.
Yeah, good defensive effort on both ends.
It is 37-36 Bulldogs. We'll come back with halftime in a moment.
There's a lot of information on the internet.
Hey, the asteroid homepage.
Oh, I have 40,000 Northwest Airlines World Perks free travel miles.
Some of it
You want to play some cyber croquet?
is just a lot more useful.
Northwest flies to more Asian cities than any U.S. airline.
Like NWA.com, Northwest Airlines' award-winning website. Look up flights, find deals with special Cyber Saver fares, even buy tickets online.
Ah, have you seen the Squirrel Camp website?
NWA.com. We'll take you there.
He's got a nut. Well, if I had money, tell you what I'd do.
During National Ford Truck Season, I got a 99 Northland Edition F-150. It's a super cab 4x4 that came with chrome wheels, the off-road package, and 4 doors standard.
Ford makes the only line of standard 4-door super cabs in America.
And it's only $279 a month for the truck built just for the Northland. I'm gonna buy me a Ford truck and cruise it up and down the road.
Come on, we'll get crazy about the best-selling, best-built trucks during National Ford Truck Season.
Tires Plus, like no other tire store.
The first road game for Minnesota is at Fresno, and the Bulldogs have a 1-point lead here at halftime. Minnesota's had some tough non-conference challenges at home. This is their toughest challenge overall because it's against a very talented team, and also that first road game's always tough.
Particularly when you go against a team that has good guard play, and Fresno State has good guard play.
Very busy day tomorrow in the Big Ten. Minnesota, of course, not playing. Everybody but Minnesota and Michigan is playing tomorrow. And there are some great matchups tomorrow in college basketball. Big Ten teams involved in many of them as we check out the Big Ten wire. Look at some of these matchups starting at top. Michigan State at Connecticut is going to be a great game. Purdue at Xavier, Temple at Indiana. Some really wonderful matchups to keep an eye on.
Yeah, some tough challenges for the Big Ten in those games.
Tom Izzo's schedule doesn't get any easier. Of course, they've had Temple, they've had Duke, and now they get the #1 team in the country.
Yeah, Mateen Cleaves did not have a good game against Duke. He knows that he'd like to rectify that. He'll go up against Khalid El-Amin, a matchup of great point guards.
We know about Khalid, and if you've watched them at all, you know about Rychart Hamilton, too.
Ranked #1 in the country.
For Gene Caney, he's, of course, trying to mold his team, find the players that fit together. Lost an awful lot of offense last year. Austin and Miller gone, and he's trying to find some guys who can take their place. He does have Brian Cardinal back.
Cardinal, Herb Robinson, and of course that's a familiar pose to Cardinal, laying on his back on the floor.
Xavier team, not many people know much about them, but they're among the nation's best.
They've been an NCAA participant a number of years in a row.
For Indiana, the guy that the Big Ten will have to watch, the key guy for the Hoosiers, is Luke Rychart.
Had a great game in their win against Notre Dame the other night. 27 points as they came back against the Irish.
And the Hoosiers are off to a good start this year. The Big Ten as a whole off to a good start. The Gophers are 4-0. They hope to be 5-0. We'll have an interesting second half for you. Coming up next, men's athletic director Mark Dienhart will join us when we return to Fresno.
They clean them. They polish them. They lavish them with extras. Maybe the reason Dodge Ram owners take such good care of their trucks is that their trucks take such good care of them. And now, Ram is J.D. Power & Associates' most appealing full-size pickup for the 4th consecutive year. The rules have changed.
When the season ends on the court, the game of life goes on. There are no timeouts for safety and security. Let General Security Services Corporation provide you with the defense you need off the court. GSSC, security solutions for personal, family, or business.
Say, what's in those jars?
Pickled eggs, pig's feet, other things.
People eat those? Is that what I think it is?
Some things we may never understand. Some things we should. At ReliaStar, we help you understand the complex world of investments and insurance so you can make the right financial choices. ReliaStar.
All-American Recreation, always selling fun.
All-American makes handcrafted, elegant pool tables right here in Minnesota. Choose oak, maple, or cherry. 50 table styles and cloth colors to choose from.
Always selling fun.
Featuring foosball and air hockey, darts, bars and bar stools. Hurry, sale ends Christmas Eve.
All-American Recreation, always selling fun.
Don't shoot, man. I am unarmed.
Now you can get a touch of the tropics right here in Minnesota. Treasure Island Resort and Casino. You're just minutes away from hours of fun.
Treasure Island Resort and Casino.
Baseball's dream season. Perfection, power, endurance, success. And it ain't over yet. Sammy Sosa leads a dream team overseas for the Major League Baseball All-Stars versus Japan.
Oh, that tastes good.
Garcia Parra, Ramirez, Castilla, Greg Baugh. An awesome selection of big league talent battles Japan's best. Catch the action Thursday at 6:30 on MSC.
A first half highlighted by excellent defense by both the Gophers and the Bulldogs, and Fresno State has a 1-point lead at the half. Joining us at halftime, men's athletic director Mark Dienhart. If you picked up the newspaper or watched television, you know that a lot of schools have been filling football coaching vacancies in the last couple of days. This man had to do that a couple of years ago, and even though the Gophers did not get to a bowl game this year, Mark, I know that you have to be very encouraged with Glenn Mason's second season with the Gophers contrasted to where the program was prior to his arrival.
Yeah, we're very pleased, Dick. Obviously, it would have been nice to get a couple more points against Indiana and to be going to a bowl game, but you look at that final game against Iowa, you realize how solid our hopes are for this coming year. And what great improvement we've made, the best record in about a decade, and all of the players that are really significant impact players returning. The future is bright. We're looking to be in one of those bowl games next year.
You've been around the university for a long time, and maybe you got the same sense I did as the season was progressing week after week after week. Teams seemed less encouraged about the prospect of playing Minnesota. That hasn't been the case for quite a while.
No, that's for sure. And if you were a season ticket holder of ours, you saw 4 wins in 6 games, and the losses were relatively close losses to Michigan and Penn State. And I think that's the sort of action people have come to appreciate in Williams Arena. Now we want them to see it in the Metrodome. And I think they will next year just as they did this year.
The challenge, of course, is to fill the Metrodome with football fans. That isn't quite the case yet. We hope that's the case in the near future. Nevertheless, a report out of Detroit a month or so ago, of the Big Ten schools, Minnesota was the most profitable. Now, ultimately, that's your job to make the athletic department profitable. That must make you feel pretty good.
Well, in one sense it does, Dick, and in another it doesn't. We run a financial operation in our department that's a very solid one, and that wasn't always the case. So I'm proud of that. But the impression given by the article is that we generate a profit. There are no profits in nonprofit organizations. That money, the additional surplus dollars that are generated by men's athletics, goes into debt service payment, goes to women's athletics, goes to a variety of other very important and very expensive operations the university has. We want people to keep those donations to the Williams Fund coming and buying those football tickets. We really need it, and we certainly need it just as much as every other Big Ten school.
Well, this is has the makings of a great winter for the Gopher men's athletic department, with the hockey program doing well and the basketball program off to a good start as well. Our thanks to Mark Dienhart, the men's athletic director, and we'll have more from Fresno when we return in a moment.
And to our local Union 76 dealers.
Is the ball part of you? Does the grass carry you? Is the water there to catch you? Do you dream big?
Meet the pride of the 21st century. Nathan Stevens, Complementary Care Nursing Specialist. Amanda Germaine DeWitt, Concert Pianist and Composer. Angelica Stein, Communication Specialist. Jennifer Eibwicks, High School Superintendent. Hans and Wilhelm Schmidt, Molecular Conceptual Biologist and Chief Executive Officer. The Future, brought to you by the University of Minnesota.
Is the ball part of you? Does the grass carry you? Is the water there to catch you? Do you dream big? Do you?
For those who have always been attracted to power, Dodge Dakota has the only available V8 in its class. Now when you buy select Dodge Dakota Club cabs, you'll get a 230 horsepower Magnum V8 at no extra charge. Why would someone want a truck with this much power? We think it has something to do with their childhood. Now get a $500 cash allowance on a Dodge Dakota.
Oh, what?
If you're going to quit your job,
Bye-bye. Bozo?
quit your job. If you're going to get a chicken sandwich, get a chicken sandwich. Hardee's new Bacon Swiss Crispy Chicken. Our crunchiest, juiciest chicken breast sandwich ever. With Swiss bacon and a taste that comes through in the crunch. If you're going to go all out.
Mom and Dad, here's a chance for your kids to be part of the U of M Gophers Women's Program. Sign them up to be a Gopher Kid. They'll get free stuff like admission to all regular home events, newsletters, and special things to do like meeting the coaches and student athletes. Plus, they'll get a cool Gopher Kids t-shirt, all for only $20. Pick up an application at any Club Kid location or call 624-0800. Gopher Kids, it's cool, it's fun, but it's only for kids.
Fresno State 4-3 on the year. The Gophers 4-0. And Fresno State led most of the way in the first half. spreading their scoring out. They got good production from their bench. Minnesota getting most of its production from Kevin Clark and Quincy Lewis. But what else is new? Offensively, they've carried the load this year.
Yeah, the two seniors know how to score points, and Quincy made a variety of shots, Dick. Unbelievable on a couple of them. The thing that makes him so tough is he can go outside and make the outside jumper, or he can take you inside off the dribble and score. And 5 baskets for the senior captain during the first half.
Each team with 5 3-point baskets. Terrence Roberson, a good 3-point shooter, spots up and hits that one. Chris Herren with a couple of them. Kevin Clark with 2 threes for Minnesota. Those are our Hardy's highlights of the first half. 20 minutes, and this game very much up for grabs. It should be a great second half. Don't go away. We'll come back with it in a moment.
Shopping during the holidays can be really expensive. Buy something for Dad? Something for Sis?
Or when are you going to do something for yourself?
Well, during the Chevy Make Your Money Count year-end event.
You can choose really low 1.9 financing or $1,000 cash back on a new Chevy Blazer. And get a little security in an insecure world.
So do something for yourself this year at your Chevy dealer's Make Your Money Count year-end event.
It's the season for savings at your Chevrolet dealer. Don't miss it.
Shells. The legend continues. One bottle at a time.
I want his job.
How it all began.
People give off a scent and it attracts you.
I wish I knew. She's beautiful. The mystery of why I'm so in love with you.
Some things we may never understand. Some things we should. At ReliaStar, we help you understand the complex world of investments and insurance so you can make the right financial choices. ReliaStar.
At Cenex Land O'Lakes, we understand agriculture. From planting to harvest, agronomy professionals employ the latest technology to help farmers manage their increasingly complex operations. Precision agriculture. To improve crops, protect the environment, provide for the planet.
Welcome back to Selland Arena in Fresno. The Bulldogs leading 37-36. They really want to play well in December because they feel that Decembers have cost them the last 3 years. At the end of the year, they've gone to the NIT in each of Jerry Tarkanian's 3 years here, and in large part because they have failed to take care of business in December, where they're just 10-14 over the last 3 years. Here's the halftime stats tonight. Brought to you by Treasure Island. Gophers shooting 41%. Bulldogs going to the line 11 times. Not seen on that stat the fact that Joel Przybilla has 5 blocks already in this basketball game.
Not only the blocks, but the shots that he's changed as the Bulldogs have come down. One stat that Coach Tarkanian has to be happy, they are winning the battle of the boards 23-18, and they have not out-rebounded many opponents this year.
Minnesota with a couple of players in double figures. The Bulldogs with a couple of players in double figures. Chris Herren got his 8 points very early on.
The big surprise is Demetrius Porter. He has not been a contributor offensively this year, and for him to have 10 points at half is a plus for Fresno.
Fresno native, just a sophomore. And the Bulldogs will get the ball here in the second half to start things. Each team on the floor with its starting 5 of the game. Roberson feeds Abney. Carver rebounds. Kevin Nathaniel back on the floor. He had some foul trouble in the first half. Clark drives to the free throw line.
Minnesota trying to set some high screens for their players to curl off. That time Quincy gets a great screen by Przybilla and scores.
He's got 13 points, but he's had some of the toughest jump shots of the season that he's made. Alexander with a Quincy Lewis type of jumper tonight, rebounded by Ely.
Little push-off by Ely, got away with one.
Roberson misses. Rebound to Nathaniel. Trying to lead a Minnesota break. A little bit out of control. Kevin Clark for three. And Minnesota gets the first 5 points of the second half.
Boy, we've seen this against Seton Hall. We saw it against Oregon. The Gophers came out blazing out of the locker room.
Just like that, a 4-point Minnesota lead. Tipped by Nathaniel to Alexander. Driving in, Przybilla, Tarver both waiting for Alexander. Here's Kevin Clark. Passing to Quincy Lewis, and it's a 7-point run to start the half for the Gophers.
Nice two-man play. Clark to Lewis, and Coach Tarkanian needs a timeout.
1:36 into the second half, and Jerry Tarkanian takes a 20-second timeout. His Bulldogs have been smoked here in the first minute and a half of the second half.
We saw that against Oregon, the same thing. Minnesota, you can see they're getting some offensive putbacks. Fresno State, 10 offensive board, but only 2 points off their 10 offensive rebounds.
Clem Haskins has authored a couple of books. He should publish a third. Great halftime speeches, because he's already used a couple up. And whatever he said at halftime here tonight seems to be working.
I think he just goes over and talks to Kevin Clark. Said, Kevin, it's time now. We knew this was a key to tonight's game, was Minnesota's depth. And tonight they've got 10 points off the bench. And to have a bench is one thing. To use it is another. And Coach Haskins uses his bench.
Line pass into the lane. Przybilla steals it. Quincy Lewis takes it in. And a blocking foul in the lane. A charge against Quincy Lewis. And it's his second foul.
Defensive players set out about the dotted line in the lane. Quincy got up in the air, could not avoid him, and ended up with the charge.
You know, we talked in the Oregon game. Kevin Clark came out and did a great job hitting his first 5 threes. But what really keyed that game for Minnesota was their great defense that started the second half, and we've seen it in evidence again here tonight.
Right now, they stifled Fresno State. They forced them to dribble. Here they force another turnover, and Fresno State's kind of back on their heels right now.
Fans trying to exhort the players. Lewis feeds a wide open Kevin Clark. It comes out. Ely rebound. I'm not sure what Kevin Clark is doing with that much shooting room.
Minnesota changed their offensive set. They went to a double high post at halftime, and it's really been successful for them.
Ely bumps with Przybilla 3 times, shoots over the top and misses. Tipped in off the glass, credit the basket to Courtney Alexander.
For a guard, Courtney Alexander has excellent jumping ability.
Tarver drives, loses it on the way up, but he was fouled. And the foul is on Courtney Alexander. That is his third.
Minnesota's going to a double high post, screening down on the baseline for the player curling off the low block, and it's been wide open. Quincy Lewis been open. That time Miles Tarver was open.
Now what do you do if you're Jerry Tarkanian? Right now, looks like he's going to leave Courtney Alexander in the game. Tarver's mom is here, sitting right behind us, about, what would you say, about 40 feet from Miles? If your mother's that close, you better make the field goal.
You gotta hit those. They wanted to send their greetings along to the parents of Quincy Lewis also. They're very good friends.
How about that? 2 made free throws for Miles Tarver. He's got 4 points.
Right now, Chris Herren's not on the floor, and he's the player most apt to lead some kind of a comeback here for Fresno State.
Comes back in. He may have to come in for Alexander, who loses it. Now Quincy Lewis gets his third foul.
Quincy got a little lazy on defense. Rather than shuffling his feet and getting in front of Alexander, he just reached in and committed the foul.
Herren in for Alexander. Now Quincy Lewis might be taken out here if they can get Dusty Rychart into the game, as they have now, and it will be Rychart into the game for the first time for Quincy Lewis. Minnesota by 6. Alexander right off the inbound. Misses. Clark got a hand on it, but the rebound pulled down by Abney.
He floated a pass over the head of Kevin Clark. Kevin wasn't looking, or he had the interception.
Eli knocked to the floor. Rychart reached in, and Eli stumbled to the floor, and it's a traveling call on Eli.
That was a heady play by Joel Przybilla. He's trying to back Joel into the lane, and Joel just took a step backwards, and Eli fell.
Rychart left wide open right off the bench. He misses. And following his shot, he gets the rebound, and he's in a world of trouble. And he lost the ball on the baseline.
Just got triple teamed once he caught the rebound, and Dusty had absolutely no place to go with the ball.
Porter in for Roberson. Bulldogs have scored just 2 points in the second half.
Alexander's taking the game over. Chris Herren's the player who can lead him back.
Przybilla gets the rebound of a long three, touched off by Herren. Tarver's pass to Nathaniel, stolen, and then stolen back by Tarver. Clark tried to feed Rychart on the baseline, too far for him and out of bounds. Minnesota turns it over. 15:48 left in the second half. The Gophers lead by
6. Sometimes people depend on you to be somewhere, even in the toughest winter conditions. That's why you can rely on a Honda snowblower. With features like Honda's legendary Easy Start overhead valve engine, user-friendly controls, and track drive for sure gripping traction without chains. So when others depend on you to be there, you can depend on a Honda to get you on your way.
For the guaranteed lowest prices on Honda snowblowers, shop Northern's 9 Minnesota locations.
The mighty Chrysler.
The 300 idea is the idea of a powerful, responsive, nimble automotive machine.
Introducing the all-new 99 Chrysler 300M, the most powerful sports sedan in its class.
As long as I've worked on this engine, I still get a tingle every time we open the hood.
The Chrysler 300M. The technology has changed, but the soul lives on.
Menards is your headquarters for holiday home improvement. Give your rooms a fresh coat of Dutch Boy paint. Dirt Fighter Interior Satin covers most surfaces in one coat, just $12.88 a gallon. Make painting or holiday decorating easier with a skinny mini folding ladder. This sturdy two-step ladder is just $7.99. A ladder with handy platform and tool tray, just $19.95. Step up to big savings with help from Menards.
Warm season's greetings to you all from Menards.
Minnesota leading by 6 points. A good surge to start the second half for the Gophers. They've scored the first 9 points. Here's our shell slam of the game coming in the first half.
Nice reverse of the ball from Onstead to Simmons into Nick Sinville, who's all alone for the two-handed slam.
A couple of the bench points we talked about before. Sinville's only bucket of the game. It's our shell slam of the game. Bulldogs are just 1 for 8 from the field in the second half.
Yeah, Minnesota's made it tough for them to get a good look. Excellent start to the second half for Minnesota.
Holcomb to Eli. Bumping with Przybilla, and he just clubs the shot out of bounds. The block came, and then it looked as if the bounce of the ball came off the Fresno State player Eli. The fans here wanted a foul. One of the few blocks we've seen from Przybilla where he actually reached over the player.
He just lets Ely catch that ball on the inside, spikes it, and now they're going to call a push on Przybilla. That's for the one they didn't call earlier. Tark was up and really on the officials, so that time they called him on a push.
7 blocks in his last game, 6 already in tonight's game.
It's scary what he's going to be like when he learns what this college game's all about.
He doesn't overcommit. You know, he times his block attempt nicely. He doesn't get caught in the air a lot. Alexander with a miss. Tarver up around the rim to pull down the rebound.
Couple quick hoops here by Minnesota could really put some pressure on Fresno.
Demetrius Porter with a bump. That'll be the 3rd foul on the Bulldogs. First on Porter. And Haskins preaching to Nick Sinville and Kyle Sandin. Clark left all open again. The Bulldogs have got to keep an eye on him. Now, they got a break there because Clark missed a wide open 3.
It's a good out-of-bounds play. They set a screen. Courtney Alexander is trying to take this game over. And that really plays into the hands of Minnesota.
Terrence Simmons in the game for the Gophers. Now it's Nathaniel open and a bad miss there. And Herren leading a break back the other way. A miss by Ely, and here come the Gophers 4 on 2. Simmons. Przybilla will go to the line for 2.
Well, that was a big miss by Ely at the other end. They had a 3-on-1 situation. He went for the slam and missed it. Minnesota counters with a break of their own, and Przybilla gets fouled. Joel Przybilla just waiting for the pass that comes. He gets fouled on the way up. Go to the line for 2.
Przybilla just 1 point in the game, 1 of 2 from the line in the first half. But boy, has he been maybe Minnesota's best defensive player in how he has changed the Bulldog offense.
The offense will come as Joel learns how to score around the basket, but the defense is there now.
Courtney Alexander and Melvin Ely.
Onstad in for Kevin Clark.
We played over about 5.5 minutes of the second half and 1 basket for Fresno State.
Minnesota got the first 9 points, and they've had the points hard to come by now. Przybilla will leave after hitting 1 of 2. Kyle Sandin replaces him.
They don't lose much in size at this fit, but they do lose some inside defense.
Herren spins away from Simmons and gets it to drop. One of the few times we've seen him drive the lane and then shoot.
He faked like he was going to pull up and then took the secondary drive and scored it.
10 points for Herren. Onstad, double team. Nathaniel being pressured. Somebody's got to be open. Tarver picks it up. Onstad. Gophers need a little relaxation here. Frantic play, tipped out of bounds. Minnesota will get it back with 15 seconds to shoot. As the Bulldogs are hounding the ball in the half court. We saw him do that extensively in the first half.
Jerry Tarkanian calls that his amoeba defense, where they just run and double up on the ball. A quick reverse of the ball, and there's got to be somebody open.
10 to shoot.
I don't think Simmons is aware of the clock.
Now he looks up and realizes he'll take the shot. An air ball. Minnesota started out shooting the ball very well in the second half. Now some misses. Roberson's 3 is good. 8 points for Roberson, and you can feel the momentum starting to swing thanks to the Fresno State defense.
Yeah, basket by Herren and the 3-pointer by Robeson's got the team and the crowd excited.
Quincy Lewis playing with 3 fouls, misses Roberson, rebound.
It's a gamble defense, but it's got the Fresno State team back into the basketball game.
For a lead for the Bulldogs as it comes off, rebounded by Simmons. A three-point try. Simmons penetrates. Sandin for three. Wide right. And the Gophers have had 3 straight threes from Onstadt, Simmons, and Sandin that have not drawn iron.
Clem Haskins wants a 20-second timeout here. He's going to get Przybilla back into the basketball game, try to stop this run by the Bulldogs.
Like Williams Arena, this place can get loud.
Not as many fans. They seat just over 10,000 here, but they are involved in the game right now.
Herren, after the season last year, declared for the NBA draft. Changed his mind, came back. He has 10 points. Played just 1 game at Boston College before transferring here. Sandin and Simmons come out. Clark and Przybilla in for Minnesota.
One of the earmarks of Jerry Tarkanian's teams in Las Vegas was the pressured, gambling man-to-man defense, and we're starting to see it now.
Clark picks up his dribble. Luckily finds Przybilla. Back to Clark. Goes in. Misses. Nobody home to rebound for Minnesota. Herren.
There's no way you can guard that shot. It just dribble up three-pointer.
A long three, and the Bulldogs lead by 2.
It's come out of their gambling, trapping man-to-man defense.
Lewis takes Roberson to the baseline, and he's bumped. Roberson picking up the 5th foul on the Bulldogs well before any shot. Make that the 5th foul on Fresno State. 11:57 left in the second half. The Bulldogs are back in front.
Day 82. Coldest day yet. Even the dogs won't move. Still no radio contact and supplies are running low.
I brought you some cookies and some nice hot cocoa. Bye-bye, dear.
There are a few things you can always count on. The Go Anywhere Jeep Cherokee is just one of them. Lease a new '99 Cherokee Sport for $269 a month and get all this at no extra charge. Check one out at your Jeep dealer.
Group W Network Services is currently accepting resumes for the position of Master Control Operator. The duties of this position are monitoring all feeds transmitted and received, setting up video levels for all feeds, and the coordination of live events for unaired product. If you have master control and customer service experience, a flexible schedule, and an associate or technical degree in video production, please send your resumes to M. Jones at MSC Group W, 90 South 11th Street, Minneapolis, Minnesota, 55403.
It was a night like any other. I was catching up on the latest at MSCSports.com when I saw it, a path I had never been down. I'm an adventurer. I double-clicked, and before me arose a chance to stand out from the crowd. It was the MSC Marketplace. Hats and shirts and a lot more that I could order with the click of a button. I ordered a hat. It was cool. Then I found out I could also get there through channel4000.com. I went back and more had been added. Wow, wherever I go, I can get to the store fast. Marketplace through MSCSports.com. Take the path.
With his defense and his offense, Chris Herren has started to take control of this basketball game.
This time Mitch Onstead was just retreating, and he was surprised. Herren just jumped up and hit a long three-pointer, and he was really excited after that one.
Courtney Alexander back on the floor. He's got 3 fouls, as does Minnesota's Quincy Lewis. 8 in the first half, 6 in rapid succession here in the second half.
This is Kevin Clark and Quincy Lewis time. You got to find your veteran players with the basketball right now.
Onstead did not have control of the ball in the front court, so no over and back, and now a foul on Herren. And that is the 6th foul on Fresno State. So with 11:49 left in the second half, Minnesota will move into the bonus situation with every ensuing foul.
That's one of the problems when you're playing the double team gambling kind of defense is you do tend to commit some personals.
Kevin Nathaniel back in the game for Minnesota. He has done the best job of Minnesota's guards in getting Minnesota into its offense. Through Przybilla, lost in the corner to Herren. Roberson, blocked by Lewis. A big block with 3 fouls. Holcomb with a miss. And now the loose ball comes to Tarver. What a block by Quincy Lewis.
It looked like a slam, but Quincy was there to deny it and then comes back and hits a big jumper.
What a big sequence for Quincy Lewis. And the Gophers have a 1-point lead. Herren drives. Off the glass, he scores.
That was a nice move. He actually lost the ball some, shot it off his knee, but made it.
Miles Tarver comes off the floor with a finger injury or a wrist injury. Keep in mind that Quincy Lewis decided to make this play with 3 fouls.
Roberson's driving down the floor, comes in, gets a piece of the basketball. Then the move ahead, quick 3-pointer by Quincy out of transition. Puts the Gophers within a point.
After the basket by Herren. Rychart trying to control Nathaniel. Nathaniel, Clark, Lewis, Przybilla, and Sinville is checked into the game now for Tarver. Nathaniel almost lost it. Lewis finds Przybilla, takes it to the hole and scores. His first field goal, 4 points for Joel Przybilla.
Quincy recognized that with the double team, Joel Przybilla was open and slid him a scoring pass.
Rychart stopped by Nathaniel. Nathaniel's got a couple of inches and quite a few pounds on Rychart. Roberson blocked by Przybilla, his 7th of the night.
Not only blocked it, he kept it in bounds for another Minnesota possession.
Clark with a miss. Sinville with a tip. No basket.
Minnesota foul number 4,
Nick Sinville committing the foul, his first.
Came over the back to get the tip in.
15 foul on Minnesota. This is all the makings of a great second half.
You mentioned, Dick, that if Fresno State's going to go anyplace in postseason, they have to beat some quality opponents. Minnesota's one of the quality opponents on their schedule.
Alexander hasn't found the shooting touch in the second half. Clark gets the long rebound. One hands it up. And that's the 7th foul.
Well, on Brown, Rychart
on the Bulldogs.
Kevin Clark is really tough one-on-one if he gets the defender backing up. That time the defender actually did a pretty good job. Pushed him to the baseline where he couldn't get the layup, but did commit the foul.
Clark hits the free throw.
Miles Tarver.
Foul called on Rychart, his 3rd. Calmly, Clark hits them both. 15 points for Kevin Clark. And a 3-point Gopher lead.
Going to try a little sequence of zone.
That's a goaltend.
Even though it was a goaltend, it was still not a bad to go up and try to get this one on the way down. 2 points for the Bulldogs.
Roberson gets credit for the basket. 5 points in each half for him, and it's a 1-point ball game or a 1-point lead for Minnesota. Full court pressure. Lewis will inbound it. Clark, aware of the double team that was coming. Now they reverse the ball. Lewis has Ely spike the pass back towards him, and the Gophers will set up now.
Quincy spotted Joel Przybilla all alone underneath, but the ball got batted away.
A hand check called on Porter, and that'll send Clark to the line. And the fact that Minnesota has moved into the bonus might be a big factor here. The 8th foul on the Bulldogs. It's a 1-and-1 for Clark.
When you go into the bonus with over 10 minutes left in the half like Minnesota did, it really helps your offense. Every time they double up, they got to be conscious of not committing the foul.
And it's Kevin Nathaniel, I beg your pardon, going to the line, not Kevin Clark.
1-and-1.
Rebounded by Ely. Ely missed 1-on-1 opportunity for Nathaniel.
Quincy Lewis now matched up with Chris Herren on perimeter.
Alexander fades away from Przybilla, and Lewis gets the rebound. Wanted no part of the 8-footer, so he faded out to 12. Clark's 3 buried. 18 for Clark.
Courtney Alexander missed the 3 at one end and then didn't locate his man at the other end.
Foul on Clark as Herren was driving by.
Minnesota foul.
This is what you call a fadeaway.
Larry Adney, the Bulldog lineup.
Courtney Alexander saw Joe Przybilla and faded back about 6 feet and put up a missed shot. Minnesota countered and got the big basket at the other end.
Alexander out. Roberson back in. Alexander's not shot well in the second half. Herren draws another foul. This one on Kevin Nathaniel. You can see why a lot of people feel Chris Herren has great NBA potential. A very quick first step on his drive.
He keeps his head up also, so that if he does get double teamed, he can drop the ball off to an open player. He's not a selfish player. On the other side of it, Courtney Alexander just jacks up some shots for no good reason.
With that second quick foul, the Bulldogs move into the bonus. Herren hits the first of 2. And they both go down. And that's a 2-point game. Miles Tarver, by the way, just 4 points, but 10 rebounds. His second game in a row in double digits in rebounds. Backdoor cut. Lewis wraps it around to Przybilla for 2.
Oh, what a great passing play. Nathaniel to Lewis to Przybilla.
3 for Herren, very short, rebounded by Clark.
I like Minnesota's aggressiveness here.
Clark taking it to the hole.
They're not trying to play cautious. They're just attacking the defense on every opportunity and build a 6-point lead.
The lead is 6 with 8 to go.
There have been years, Dick, where Minnesota would have back dribbled that ball, but now they just attack offensively.
Lewis, a taller player, coming out to guard here, and he drives, and a foul on Quincy Lewis. I believe it's on Lewis. If it is, that's his 4th.
That's a big call in this ball game. Minnesota needs the leadership and scoring of Quincy Lewis on the floor. Chris Herren just takes the baseline drive. The double team is there. Miles Tarver comes over, but the foul's already been committed.
Mitch Onstadt will check in. And Herren has been the man for the Bulldogs in the second half. They have 18 points in the second half, and Herren has 11 of them. That rattles out. Onstadt gets the rebound.
Minnesota going to give Quincy a few minutes rest here. As long as they can maintain the lead, they can afford to keep him on the bench.
Tarver, Kevin Clark, a miss, rebounded by Herren. 3-point try comes off. Nathaniel with an alert play before stepping out of bounds. He smashed it off the face of Larry Abney. Minnesota will get it. Abney holding his mouth. Kevin Nathaniel with a smart play in the corner for the Gophers.
Oh, what? Oh. Oh.
If you're going to quit your job,
Bye-bye. Bozo?
quit your job. If you're going to get a chicken sandwich, get a chicken sandwich. Hardee's new Bacon Swiss Crispy Chicken. Our crunchiest, juiciest chicken breast sandwich ever. With Swiss bacon and a taste that comes through in the crunch. If you're going to go all out.
Every year, APRA technicians work on over 50,000 vehicles. We straighten 7,000 body frames, install over 30,000 windshields, repaint some 40,000 auto bodies, and replace close to 1 million parts. That's the kind of experience you can count on. ABRA, auto body and glass. Absolutely the best auto body experience you can have.
Shopping during the holidays can be really expensive. Buy something for Dad? Something for Sis? Or when are you going to do something for yourself? Well, during the Chevy Make Your Money Count year-end event.
Your Chevrolet dealer's got so many Chevy Tahoes and Chevy Suburbans in stock. Now's the time to get yours. You'll want to check out the lease deals, too.
So do something for yourself this year at your Chevy dealers Make Your Money Count year-end event.
It's the season for savings at your Chevrolet dealer. Don't miss it.
The Gophers trying to pull off another come-from-behind win. They were down a point at halftime. Scored the first 9 points of the second half to take charge of the second half. It's a 5-point lead. Here's our Cenex Land O'Lakes game summary. Kevin Clark with a 30-point effort and a 21-point effort against Fresno State. And a good effort with the 20 already here tonight. Joel Przybilla with 7 blocks and another half dozen altered shots.
It's funny about Joel. Before he played his first college game at Williams, he said, well, wait till he faces some bigger players. And he saw a 7-foot at Oregon and didn't flinch. And then they say, wait till he goes on the road for the first time. Nothing seems to bother Joel.
Clark splits the defense, takes it in, and scores! Kevin Clark with a marvelous second half.
He's fearless going to the basket.
Abney with a one-handed catch. 22 tonight for Clark. Roberson steps out, thinks about the 3. Runs into Nathaniel, drops it down to Alexander, who gets the basket.
Nice play by Terrence Roberson. Recognized the man open underneath.
5-point Gopher lead. 6:20 to play. Onstad to Tarver. Again, the Gophers playing without Quincy Lewis on the bench with 4 fouls. Nathaniel to Clark. Oh, they left him alone again. Drives it in. 3 seconds to shoot. Nathaniel's off balance. Shot comes off, and Nathaniel saves it in the corner to Clark. What a great play by Nathaniel. Clark's 10-footer short. Tarver rebounds, but there's a push.
Kevin Nathaniel has saves at both ends of the court.
And Nathaniel is hurt. He's hurt a wrist.
This time the ball is going out of bounds. Nathaniel just turns and throws it deep to Kevin Clark.
And Kevin Nathaniel in front of us wincing in pain as he saved the ball. He either stumbled or in trying to keep from stumbling.
Replacing the injured Kevin Nathaniel.
He injured his right wrist or thumb. And Roger Shipper will get him to the end of the bench, and they'll take a look at it. So Minnesota's starting point guard, and really the only point guard Minnesota's had who's been able to consistently get them into their offense, appears to be done for the night with 5:45 left. Abney at the line for a 1-and-1.
Of all the point guards, Kevin Nathaniel, as you mentioned, Dick, has done the best job of getting the Gophers into their offensive sets.
Abney hits the front end of the 1-and-1. The foul, Minnesota's 9th. A three-point ball game in this next possession. Key for Minnesota. Quincy Lewis is back in the game with Przybilla, Clark, Onstadt, and Tarver.
Here's the amoeba defense, just run and jump and double team and hope for a mistake.
We haven't seen as much of that with Nathaniel on the floor, but now he is hurt. And Onstadt has to try to fill his shoes. Clark nearly double dribbled. Clem Haskins wants a 20-second timeout. He didn't like the way this possession was setting up, and he may want to change players on the floor. Gain insights and information from the coach himself. The Clem Haskins Show, Mondays at 6:30 on MSC, your Gopher Hoops connection. Dick Bramer and Jim Dutcher from Fresno here. Glad to be bringing you what has been a very exciting basketball game. We've been sent out here to do basketball. They tell us it was a coincidence that while we were here, MSC held its annual Christmas party. I think they scheduled their Christmas party around our absence.
Well, at least you got invited.
Well, you didn't even get invited.
Oh, they ship me out to California and then don't invite me.
Well, the Gophers have a long break for finals after this game and a long flight home after the game, and they have led most of the way here in the second half.
They're going to find either Quincy or Kevin Clark with this possession.
Onstadt reverses it to Clark. And he hits a three. Do you think Jerry Tarkanian hasn't seen enough of Kevin Clark? Wow. Thrown to the corner. Roberson tries to answer. Very short, rebounded by Onstadt. Little bit too far for Quincy Lewis. He was all alone.
Just needed a little loft on the pass. He line drive the pass, and Quincy couldn't handle it.
Good news, Kevin Nathaniel comes back into the game with his right wrist taped. 5:01 left, a 6-point Gopher lead. They've led by as many as 8 very early in this second half.
Hey, when you got a Quincy Lewis and a Kevin Clark on your ball club, capable of either taking it to the basket or rising up and hitting a three, it's tough to defend them.
Alexander's been very shot happy in this second half. That was not a good shot. Przybilla takes the rebound away from Kevin Clark.
Alexander doesn't wait for the shot to come to him. He goes out looking for the shot, and that's usually going to get you in trouble.
Nathaniel double team. Tarver to Lewis. Blocked by Ely. Lewis gets the rebound again, playing with 4, and he hits the 10-footer. 20 points for Quincy Lewis.
The two seniors are playing like seniors in this basketball game.
Herren blocked by Przybilla, number 8 tonight. Clark with the ball. 3-on-2 Gopher break if they want it. Clark takes it in. He'll go to the line. It's the 9th foul on the Bulldogs.
Offensively, Kevin Clark and Quincy Lewis have taken over this game in the late stages, and Joel Przybilla just stays steady on the inside. This time Chris Herren beats his man off the dribble, but here comes Joel Przybilla to knock it away.
What does that do to your perimeter defense? When you know you've got him anchoring the paint, you can allow your man to drive by. You can play more aggressively on the perimeter, can't you?
Yep. Dick, I coached the two shot blockers that have the most block in Minnesota basketball, Michael Thompson, Kevin McHale, and Randy Brewer. And none of them as a freshman had the shot blocking ability that Joel Przybilla has. They were great shot blockers, but this young guy's outstanding.
Clark misses the first one.
Terrence Roberson or Shamario Richard.
Shamario Richard comes out. Terrence Roberson back in. One of 2.
Timeout on the floor.
Minnesota has its largest lead with 3:57 left. It's a 9-point Gopher lead.
The people of Northwest Airlines have taken a few friends under their wings, like Habitat for Humanity. Toys for Tots, community blood centers, and Second Harvest Food Bank. Please join the 50,000 people of Northwest in helping our Air Care's charitable partners.
An important part of our mission is supporting the communities in which we live and work. Thank you for joining us in these efforts.
It's National Ford Truck season, and things are getting a little crazy.
If I had the money, I'd tell you what I'd do.
I got a great truck season deal on this 99 Ranger Super Cab 4x4. Hey, it's built right here in St. Paul, so it's tough. For $177 a month, I got a powerful V6, automatic transmission, and air conditioning. Plus, I got a cool flare side bed and a CD player at no extra charge.
Come on and get crazy about the best-selling, best-built trucks during National Ford Truck season.
Dig. Point. Block. Serve. Dive. Set. Spike. Women's Collegiate Volleyball on MSC. It's not what you think. Tune in throughout the season on MSC, your ultimate sports connection.
Joel Przybilla has 8 blocks in this game. The school record is 12, set by the aforementioned Michael Thompson against Ohio State. And when you aren't scoring much inside and you're outside shooting, Courtney Alexander is just 2 for 10 in the second half. When your outside shooting isn't there, really makes things difficult in the second half.
The thing that makes it tough is Courtney Alexander, a lot of the shots do not come out of the offense, so the rebounders don't anticipate the shot coming, and they're not in position to go rebound. Minnesota's going to come back into a zone defense here. They better locate Chris Herren. He's the most dangerous shooter against this zone.
Alexander to Herren.
Herren has to take that shot.
Instead it's Roberson. Off, no good. Rebounded by Alexander. Herren's left open. He'll try a 3. 22 in the game, 14 in the second half for Chris Herren.
Minnesota's going to have to make some free throws at the end with their defense. If they can't get the turnover, they'll end up fouling.
Nathaniel feeds Przybilla under the basket, who gets it in on the other side.
Caught the ball right under the net, but was able to curl it back and get it in.
Good pass from Nathaniel over the top. And the lead goes back to 8. Alexander, left alone, hits the 3.
With 2.5 to go, Fresno State does not have to foul. They just play good, solid defense, look for a turnover.
Fresno State and the Gophers exchanging baskets. The Bulldogs getting 3s, the Gophers getting 2s. And now Nathaniel's fouled by Herren. And Nathaniel, chopped on the wrist, now has the unenviable task of trying to hit free throws. He'll get 2 of them because it's the 10th foul.
Herren didn't want to foul, but if he had to foul, Kevin Nathaniel is among the poorer percentage free throwers that's on the floor right now for Minnesota.
Timeout, Bulldogs.
Herren not happy with the foul. Nathaniel will shoot his free throws when we come back.
Introducing the all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee, engineered with Quadra Drive, the only system that operates at maximum capability all the time. Another first from Jeep.
It's broken.
How'd you get here? The all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee, the most capable sport utility ever. Check one out at your Jeep dealer.
Big savings on Black & Decker tools from Menards. Choose from 2 VersaPack kits with the rechargeable drill, saw or multi-tool, snake light, 2 battery packs, and charger, or a Wizard rotary tool kit, just $39.99 each after rebate. All Weiser locks are on sale. This passage set is just $5.97. This combo pack includes entry set and deadbolt, just $19.97. Have a happy holiday season with big savings from Menards.
Golden season's greetings to you all from Menards.
Minnesota leading 70-65. Kevin Nathaniel, 8 for 15 from the line this year. A homecoming for him from Camarillo, California. Miles Tarver, as we mentioned, also coming back to his home state. Mitch Onstadt with a homecoming of sorts. Played 1 year at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Clem Haskins hoping to go 5-0, and then has, of course, a lot of home games coming up. Minnesota has a full timeout left. Fresno State has 4 timeouts left. Minnesota with the possession arrow.
Fresno State will have to take them in the late stages of the game if they can get a possession, get a timeout so they can get press. Most of these games, particularly on the road, come down to your ability to make clutch free throws. Right now we got Kevin Nathaniel for 2.
Quincy Lewis was standing at the line just in case they were going to hand him the ball. And the official,
they can give you a technical for that, and they're coming over to tell Clem Haskins now that, hey, don't let him do that. If it happens again, it's a technical foul.
That was a warning shot right there. Quincy Lewis was standing at the line. He wasn't asking for the ball. He was just standing there, and the intent was obvious. The official's right on the spot.
Excuse me, the good official, you give him the warning.
Nathaniel 0 for 2 from the line tonight. And now 8 for 16 on the season. Tarver with the rebound to the corner. Oh, what a big rebound by Miles Tarver.
Big save by Miles off the missed free throw.
How do you give up the spot on the floor when you get 2 missed free throws? Tarver comes up with a pickup of a loose ball. And now we'll see Lewis and Clark do the bulk of the ball handling.
They want the foul to occur on them.
Gotta watch the 5-second call here too. Backdoor cut. Nathaniel goes up strong and scores on Ely.
Outstanding pass by Quincy Lewis. He got double teamed, recognized the backdoor cut.
Herren misses. Tarver again pulls the rebound down. Miles Tarver having a great night on the boards. 12 rebounds and 2 big ones in the final 2 minutes.
Second game in a row where Miles come off with a dozen rebounds. Quincy Lewis made a great play on the backdoor pass to Nathaniel.
Clark to the line. Clark to the line with 1:24 left.
Here you see the double play on Quincy, and he just threads the needle with a bounce backdoor cut pass.
I think what we've seen again tonight, Jim, from the Gophers are some ingredients that Jerry Tarkanian would like to see from his team. This team plays hard. The Gophers do for 40 minutes, and they've got some talent, but to be fair, I think the Bulldogs have just as much basketball talent on the floor.
Minnesota's got some home run hitters. Quincy Lewis and Kevin Clark can step up and make big baskets. Miles Tarver is a good blend player. He does what he's supposed to do, plays defense and rebounds. And then, of course, you've got Joe Przybilla inside to knock away all the shots.
Herren has to commit another foul. His third.
Quincy Lewis to the line.
Perplexed. And this man doesn't lose very often on his home floor. This would be, if the score holds up, just the 10th loss in 3.5 years here for Jerry Tarkanian.
And it wasn't that his team didn't get a good effort. It's just during the key times, the start of the second half, and then late in the half when they were challenged, the Gophers had the spurts to put the game away.
A 10-point lead. Minnesota's largest with 1:06 left. Porter blocked by Przybilla, number 9. Clark in the corner.
Good decision by Kevin to bring it out, draw the foul, and go to the free throw line, and the fans are filing out of the arena.
Joel Przybilla, in his career at Minnesota, I suspect will have a number of triple doubles, shots or points, rebounds, and blocks. His 9 blocks tonight place him second in the single game list behind Michael Thompson, tying him with Randy Brewer's 9-block effort against the Wolverines in 1983.
I've seen most of the teams in the Big Ten this year, and I haven't seen any team that has the guard-forward scoring combination that Minnesota has in Kevin Clark and Quincy Lewis. And as some of the other players blend in, this is going to be an awfully tough team to beat.
28 for Kevin Clark. Make it 29. Herren fires up a 3. And Ely slams it against Lewis, and the Bulldogs will get the ball with 39.5 seconds left. There are some Bulldog players who have been booed. Courtney Alexander was booed a couple of minutes ago after taking an ill-timed shot. And now Lewis bats the ball out of bounds.
They just haven't got the production out of their front line, out of Ely and Roberson and Abney. Haven't been there on a consistent basis in this ball game. It's come down to the guards trying to beat Minnesota.
Przybilla with another block. Herren wanted a foul, and he's standing at the baseline, complaining about it. Number 10 for Joel Przybilla.
And he makes it look so easy.
It's almost as if he dares the shot to come. He dares the player to drive the lane or the pass to come into the lane.
Like I said earlier, it's going to be scary when he figures out all the nuances of the defense.
Lewis throws it to Nathaniel. 77, 65, like a good thoroughbred. The Gophers pulled away at the end. And speaking of thoroughbreds, Kevin Clark with 29 points tonight, 30 against the Bulldogs in the NIT, 21 a year ago at Williams Arena. Jerry Tarkanian very glad he's seen the last of Kevin Clark. He's our Relias star of the game.
Yeah, another great game by Kevin, and he could share that honor with Quincy Lewis and with Joel Przybilla, 2 other players who had outstanding ball games.
Well, everyone was wondering how would the Gophers fare in their first road game of the year against a Fresno.
Plenty of pumpkin pie.
You used to go with a turkey?
Yes, but he didn't come with all the trimmings. I know the type. Like I say, there's always something new cooking at Perkins.
Harvard drives into the lane, followed up by Lewis. Clark. 5-3 for Kevin Clark. Nice pass. What a sequence for the freshman. Clark splits the defense, takes it in, and scores. Przybilla loops it underneath, counts the basket. How did he find Quincy Lewis? After a week off for finals, the Gophers have one more test to take this week, a test that they should pass easily against the Eastern Michigan Eagles. And welcome once again to Williams Arena. Dick Bramer along with Jim Dutcher. The Gophers have done very well so far this year. 2 exhibition wins, 5 regular season wins. If the team has done well, 3 individuals in particular have done even better. Kevin Clark, Quincy Lewis, and Joel Przybilla.
Yeah, the seniors have really stepped. Quincy Lewis has given great leadership. He's made the tough inside baskets. He's hit the threes. He's played tremendous defense. The leading scorer in the Big Ten going in. And Kevin Clark is also, outside of playing great defense, has scored on the drive. He's been able to step up and hit the 3-point shot.
Joel Przybilla with 17 blocks in his last 2 games, 10 blocks with just 1 foul against Fresno State. An outstanding start for the freshman from Monticello. So those 3 Gophers have done very well in Minnesota's 5-0 start. For the Eagles, they are 0-5. Milton Barnes comes in here with a completely redone team. Everybody is new. He's filled the team with a lot of freshmen and junior college players.
Yeah, the one player that really has given them some hope is Calvin Warner, the big freshman out of Florida. On Wednesday night's loss to Michigan, he had 16 points and 12 rebounds. In the backcourt, he's also had to reload because he lost the 2 great players, Earl Boykins and Derek Dials. He's come up with Deshaun Hadley, a junior college player.
It's the Gophers against